Oh, I drive a Chevy Cruze, look at that. Good morning, YouTube, and welcome to the channel. Today I want to do a little review. I know it's always a little review, short, quick, whatever, but we'll see how long this goes. Today I'm in a 2017 Chevy Cruze. This car is a loaner car while my 2016 Corvette is in the shop for some warranty work. But yeah, so I thought this would be a really good opportunity to do a little quick car review. Today is Monday, and I got this car on Friday, and so I haven't really driven it too much though, because over the weekend I elected to drive my Chevy Suburban because it's a little nicer. But just to start off this video, a couple points. This car, it is better than I expected, meaning it wasn't a total piece of shit. It's actually pretty good. We'll talk more about that. And the quality is actually, surprisingly, it's good. So I guess that's what I'm going to say about this car, is that it's surprisingly better than what you thought it would be. Still not great. Well, I guess let's start out with some positives about this car. The first thing I noticed is that the trunk is huge. I think they took inspiration from 1960s Cadillac. I could definitely fit back there, and I'm like 6'3". Yeah, that thing is massive. I'll post some pictures in here. But like right now, you can kind of see a box right there. That is the spoiler for my Corvette, actually. And that whole back seat just totally, the whole thing folds down in one piece. It's not like a 40-60 split. But when you fold that whole thing down, you can fit the width of a Corvette in the trunk and the back seat of the car. So that's pretty good for a compact car. Some more positive aspects of this car is it's got things that you would consider standard. It's got one USB port and one aux jack down here. It's got the little Chevy MyLink screen, which is pretty nice. It's like the rest of the Corvette, the rest of the GM lines. Easy to use. It's the same as anything you'll find on any other GM product. A little different than the Corvettes though. One of the major things I like about this car is the quality is there. Yeah, it doesn't have a lot of like super soft touch pieces. There is a lot of like plastic in this car, but everything looks like quality plastic. It's not like mid-2000s GM where the plastic's gonna start peeling the paint off after a couple years. This car actually, it's quiet. There's no rattles. I mean, this car only has 37 miles, so a little less than 4,000 miles. Not terribly old, current model year. But still, it's nice that, a compact car that starts at, I'm sure, very little money, is built solidly. So kudos to GM for that. As far as visibility goes, this car has plenty. There's like no blind spots in this car at all. Yeah, there's absolutely none. I just checked. But yeah, the MPGs in this car are terrific. Let me just click through here. Yeah, so right now I'm averaging 41.4 miles per gallon, and my best MPGs for the last 50 miles have been 46. So that's really good. I mean, it's what you would expect for a car of this size and this weight. So that's really not a shocker, but it is, that's a really great reason to buy this car, is that, it may not be, the nicest car, it may not be the biggest car, but there's really not a lot of compromises that you're going to make, but you're getting good MPGs, and you don't have to worry about it being a hybrid system where you need to worry about your batteries dying over time, or if you move over here, or, you could get a diesel, like an eco diesel or something. I think they make a Cruze in that. But then, you're buying a different fuel, which sometimes, depending on where you live, is actually harder to find diesel. So yeah, so far so good. Coming down to some negatives of this car, which is not a lot. Obviously, I'm going to talk about power. This car, it's a little light on the power. But, with the fuel savings, I guess that's, something that a buyer of this car probably isn't focusing so much on power, and it's not that weak where, when you're getting the freeway, you're gonna be causing an accident or something. It's got a little pep to its step, and it's got down here. See, in my Corvette, it goes down after drive. It goes into manual mode with the paddle shifters and stuff. This one goes into L mode, and then there's different levels of low. It's kind of just like a manual mode, though, so I don't really understand why they use low versus manual in the Corvette. I don't know, maybe, manual inspires thoughts of sportiness, where, this car, they're just thinking of practicality as far as, having the lower gears go down. And I actually tried that getting on the freeway on Saturday, and, popping it down into low 1 was keeping you in that. And that actually helped it accelerate, quicker, as you would expect. So, this isn't any race car, but, it'll give you enough power to be able to function, essentially, which is probably anything or everything that an owner of one of these is going to want. Move over. There you go. Yeah, so no complaints there. A negative of this car, however, is that because it's really light, handling, especially at higher speeds, at higher speeds, it's actually it can get a little loose on you. And by a little, I mean a lot. Not traction-wise, but just it's very floaty. And I don't mean that by the suspension either, because the suspension's actually, okay for a little compact car like this. I think it's actually better than okay. It's stiff enough where, you don't feel like a floating box on wheels. But it's like I just went over a little bump, and it's soft, it's nice, it's a good compromise. As far as driving position goes, that's a positive. I have this seat raised all the way up because even though I'm a tall person, I don't like sitting very low, so I like to be a little extra high. And obviously my head clearance is at least an inch up there. So that's pretty good. But yeah, I kind of came into this, when they gave me the keys to this car and I asked, what am I going to be driving? They said Chevy Cruze, and I said, oh shit, in my head at least. And, I'm coming through this, I was even thinking about maybe I could exchange it for, something else. They can give me anything else in a Chevy Cruze. I guess they could have given me a Sonic. But I'm coming out of this, like I said, I haven't driven it all that much. Really just my main commute back from the Bay Area up to Sacramento, and now I'm doing the opposite. I went into it wanting to hate it, thinking I was going to. I didn't really want to hate it, but I knew that I thought I was going to hate it. And, to my surprise, it's not that bad. I was being a little bit complainy when I first got it. It's definitely a downgrade if you're driving a Corvette every day. And it's a compact car, so it's not really awe-inspiring. But, it was nice not having to spend a lot of money on fuel this week, or this weekend. And so for that, Chevy Cruze, I thank you. You're helping my wallet. That'll lead me into my next thought, is that, who should buy this car? Well, you could buy it if you're wanting a commuter car. I think it's pretty, it's decent. I myself am kind of in the camp, though, where a commuter car, since you're using that every single day, should really be something that you enjoy to drive, and that's why I drive a Corvette. It's efficient. I get about 30 miles per gallon as long as my, traffic isn't shitty. But yeah, my point of view is that if you can get a car that gets good fuel economy like the Corvette, and you can get that with a nice sporty car that handles really great and is really fun to drive, that's what you should get as a commuter car. But obviously, that's expensive for some people. So, for someone that doesn't care a lot about driving dynamics and things like that, this is going to be a perfect car for you. It's not horrible to drive, I guess what I'm getting at. So even someone, like if I had to drive this car, like let's say the Corvette only got like 15 miles per gallon, I just couldn't afford to drive that on a regular basis, especially with premium fuel. I could drive this every day, no problem. Obviously, I'd like something with a little bit more soul, and so since I can, I do drive a Corvette. But yeah, I mean, I could see like my dad would probably love this car. You know, it's got current technology, it's got everything that you need and expect in a modern car. Not a lot of extra frills, but the base price, I'm sure, is very nice. And it drives well, and I really, like I said, I can't find a lot to complain about. I wish maybe if there's a nicer trim on this vehicle, that's probably what I would go with, just to get, you know, I don't really like all this hard plastic. This would be great for, you know, a commuter. You know, if I had a kid in college or something like that, or, you know, a kid in high school, this would be a great car to send them out in the world with. You know, it's safe, it's economical, but yet they can still, you know, take friends with them and go to the movies, or, you know, do whatever, you know, go anywhere. This would be like a good starter car too. But yeah, so really this car is geared to both ends of the spectrum. You know, you could be, you know, a first-time driver, or you could be, you know, middle-aged commuting, or you can be my age in commuting, actually. Either way, you know, it's gonna be okay. So if your parents bought you a Chevy Cruze and you're really pissed off, you know, make the best of it, because it's not that bad of a car. You could be driving a smart car. Now, as far as the exterior goes, obviously I can't show you that right now because I'm driving, but, you know, it's not bad. The front end has that pointed, more sculpted look that Chevy's been doing with a lot of their vehicles. It kind of has the little fins that stick out on the bottom that remind me of my Corvette and the Chevy Cruze. I did a review on that and mentioned that they have a very similar look, you know, with that, the sharp lines on the front. So that's kind of GM's aesthetic right now, at least with the Chevy brand. I think Cadillac's doing that too. Yeah, sharp lines on the front. The rear of this car is a little round for my taste. I don't, you know, that reminds me too much of the 1990s GM. But, you know, it's clean looking, and, you know, this car, you know, this is something that they want to appeal to a broad range of buyers, so, you know, it's not really going to be offensive or anything. Everything is this is a very safe looking car as far as how daringly they designed it. And that's fine, because, you know, if you're driving a Chevy Cruze, you're not really trying to, you know, you're not really trying to look sporty, I guess. You know, you're not trying to make a statement when you say, oh, I drive a Chevy Cruze, look at that. That's not really what you're doing. This is an economy car, and that's fine. It does that well. But yeah, so let's just sum up this car really quick in like a minute or less. Price, very good. Handling, give it a 4 out of 5 stars. Quality, I'll put that at like a 9. The finishes, I'll give more of like a 7, because the quality is there, it's just cheaper finishes, because this is, you know, an entry-level type vehicle. Exterior styling, I'd give that like a 7 or a 6. I mean, like I said, you know, GM and all of the makes have really upped their game as far as trying to make these economy cars look good. And so kudos to them, and they've succeeded. But yeah, I guess, so that's a good testament to how well they've succeeded, because I probably, if they gave me, you know, whatever they were making as like a Chevy, like a Chevy Cobalt or something back in the mid-2000s, remember those? Ugh. They'd given me one of the keys to that 10 years ago, I would have been like, no, like, you can take this back and give me something else. Honestly, I would not drive that. I had to learn how to drive in one of those from my driving school, and that was awful. I was embarrassed to drive that. God, those are ugly. Yeah, so I think that's a testament where I would never, ever, ever drive a compact or even a mid-sized American vehicle from back in the 2000s. Driving this and actually praising it should speak volumes. I am a car guy, and I, you know, enjoy the driving experience. And, you know, this is like I said earlier in the video, this has surpassed all of my expectations of what I thought a compact American car would be. So here's kind of a view from the driver's point of view. You know, it's got a very nice clear gauge cluster. You know, you can see all of your MPG data, you know, other car data, stuff like that, your speed. The center stack is pretty nice looking. It's got a nice, kind of a smallish screen, but that's okay. And you know, all your HVAC controls. But yeah, visibility is great. You know, it's got lots of big windows. It's nice. You know, this is a nice cabin. You know, if you're gonna have to be back here in a commute or something, it's not a bad space to be. I have the seat all the way back, and there's my legroom. You know, it's pretty decent. Like I said, I'm 6'3", 6'4", somewhere in there. Let's go with 6'3" and a half. Not bad. So, you know, here's a nice, you know, this is a nice little view. So this is what you get. When you're sitting in the Chevy Cruze, you get a nice seat, it's pretty comfy, and you get a good view. So since my time with the Cruze is kind of coming close to an end, I figured this would be a good time to go ahead and do a little exterior shot. And like I said before, you know, the front end of this reminds me a lot of the Volt. It has really nice sharp lines on the bottom. You know, it doesn't have that ugly rounded look that a lot of American compact cars used to have back, especially like in the mid-2000s. So, you know, you're not buying this for looks, but it definitely is not, you know, ugly as sin. But yeah, you know, just going around the car, I think the whole thing looks pretty good. Yeah, definitely, you know, I would not buy it because of the looks. It's just, you know, it's not really a super fun handling car, so that's why I would mostly not buy it. But I mean, you know, you know, from every angle it looks fine. You know, I think there's uglier cars out there. And like I said, this isn't ugly, it's just not super duper cool looking. Coming around to the back, let's go ahead and open the trunk for a minute. And I just want to point out how massive this thing is. It might be hard to tell on video, but I mean, this goes on for days. I mean, here's my arm. I'm, you know, standing outside of the car. My arm's pretty long. Like I said, I'm 6'4", 6'3". So, you know, it takes my entire length of my arm to touch the back. You know, I wish I had some blow-up dolls or something, but I mean, you could easily fit, I'd say probably 2 to 3 dead hookers if you know, you folded them up nice. But honestly, that's a really large amount of room for such a compact car. This would be really great for a little road trip or something with some friends. You know, everyone would fit comfortably in the cab, and you can throw all your crap back here, and that would really work out nicely. But anyhow, I want to thank you guys very much for watching my video today. Please like and subscribe for more videos coming in the future. I do hope that this was really helpful for anyone that was, you know, looking into the Cruze or just wanted to know a little bit more information. You know, obviously, like I said, this is a rental car for me, so, you know, I'm not going to have too much knowledge about it. But, you know, go ahead and send me some comments below, and, you know, I can try to answer anything that, you know, I left out of the video if you have any questions. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and stop by next time for some more information. Have a great day. Also, if you didn't know, the Chevy Cruze is quite the off-roader, as we're about to see. This hill's pretty good. Let's go for it, since this isn't my car. Oh, ooh. Oops. Well, that doesn't sound good. Oh well. So as you could see, you know, that ran over the thing pretty good. Hello. Yeah, so it's gonna bypass that person. City official, I'm sure. But yeah, you know, so you can still have a little fun in this car. You know, you don't have to worry, you know, obviously you're not gonna go off-roading, but you know, surely if you wanna, you know, park in the gravel, you don't have to worry about it getting stuck or anything like that. So, you know, we learn something new every day with the Cruze.